So today, Jenka texted me while I was at work because she was home today, and my radiator came. So I came home to a beautiful site with a new radiator. So we're gonna get that installed today. So we're gonna first start by pulling this one out, and then we are also gonna finish cutting the holes into the hood and getting the hood pins back onto it, and then we'll actually be able to drive it. So that'll be super exciting. But so the first thing I'm gonna do is just drain this radiator and get the coolant out so we can take it out. Alright, so I'm going to cut these lower radiator mounts off because with this radiator you can see it mounts here and then it's got this lip. On this one it doesn't have that lip there, so it mounts here, so I can lower it about an inch or so. So I'm going to cut off the mounts and lower it a little bit. Alright, so I just decided I'm not going to use these ones because it fits onto here, like it'll work, but it doesn't fit as good as it does onto here. It fits really nice onto those. So I'm just going to make some new ones that fit onto here better, and it'll hold it side to side and forward to back, and then we'll put the top mounts on right here. And then I'm also lowering it some, so I'm hoping I don't have to cut a hole in the hood for this. I'll just have to cut a hole for this. So that's the idea. Now I'm just going to cut out some rubber that'll fit down into here, so it'll have rubber in between the radiator and the mount. Okay, so I got these made up, and I cut out some little spacers that I'm just going to weld into the bottom of these, and then those will weld to the frame, and I will set the rate. Well, I'm just going to, I guess this can get welded up, but I'm going to sit in there and tack it to the frame and see if the height is good before I fully weld it.
That's lined up. It's on this one, yeah.
You like in it?
It's in it, yeah.
Does it fit?
I think so. Barely.
Well, I got the bottom mounts in there, so then I made up these top mounts as well. There's rubber that goes into there, and I notched the shroud out a little bit so it'll sit in just like that, and hold the top and just weld it onto the front. And as you can see, it's gonna clear the hood. The only thing I'm gonna have to cut a hole for is the radiator cap and the hood pins. Everything else I tuck down. but this is as low as the radiator can go. And it can't lean back because there's not enough room in here. So get the top mounts welded on and then start hooking everything back up and then do some wiring. I got a wiring kit as well and a temperature sensor, so I won't have to use a switch anymore. It'll just kick on automatically, so that should be super nice as well. Alright, there it is, all mounted up. There's those mounts I made. Still plenty of room back here. So now I just gotta wire it up, and I gotta hook all the hoses back up and the trans cooler, and then put some coolant in it. Looks way better appearance wise, and it will function much better. Alright, time's come to cut a hole into the hood of the Blazer. So just gonna do it. Hopefully get it right the first time.
You only got one chance.
Yeah, I only have the first time. Get it right.
There it goes. That worked. What happened, bud?
Oh wow. What, this?
Yeah. You get yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so I got radiators in, as you guys saw. And then I got all this wiring to do, but I need to put the temperature switch in there somewhere. And there's not really a good place to put this because there is a port on the top of the intake manifold, but it needs to be there. So I think what I'm gonna do here, you can see here's that plug that's already there. I think I'm just gonna drill and tap a hole right here next to that one, and then screw the switch into there. Alright, there's the 1/2 inch hole drill. So now I'm going to take the 27/64 drill bit and finish it off. There it is. Now I'm going to get the tap and tap it out. I'm not gonna put any thread tape on it because it needs to be grounded out. Okay, that should work. All right, so I got that thermostat temperature switch put into there. I'm just waiting. Braden went to Walmart and he's gonna pick up a few more things we need. So I'm gonna start working on this. So as you can see, I cut the hole, you know, for the radiator cap, and like how this has a plate where the hole is, I'm gonna make a plate that goes over it like that, just to make it look a little bit nicer. And I've got this sheet of aluminum diamond plate here. I'm just gonna cut this out of this diamond plate. I'm not sure if I'm gonna paint it or not yet. I might paint it black, and then it'll just go on there like that, just to make it look a little bit more professional and a little bit nicer. So yeah, I'm gonna start cutting this out of the diamond plate. Alright, well I got all the wiring done. Fan wire goes up here, just back with the rest of the wires. The relay's right there. It's also got a fuse down there. And it goes over there to the ignition power. And down here for the temperature switch or whatever. So that's all ready to go. I just gotta fill it with coolant and bleed the system. Then I also found these lights that I used to have on my XJ, and I threw them on here kind of on the sides of the light bar. So I'm kind of not 100% sure about it, so let me guys what you guys think about that. But I think I'm gonna wire them up and just see how I like them there. They're kind of angled out a little bit and down a little bit more than this, so gives it a wider spread of light. I don't want too much light on the front of this, but I'll wire them up separately so I can, you know, either have one on or them off or whatever. Alright, so you guys saw I put these on there, and I got to looking, well, I'm wiring right now, but I got to thinking while I was doing that, like, what if we just took, you know, like some black iron, because it doesn't need to be strong, and just ran, kind of match this top one, but underneath the bottom like that. So it ties it all together. And I think that would look super good.
That does look a lot better.
I think that'd look clean.
Yeah.
So I'll put a little bends in it and tie it in here. So I think I'll end up doing that. And then I also, I videoed cutting this out, and you'll see that. But I cleaned it up and just made it all even because it wasn't super even. So I evened it all out and filed it up nice. So now that fits on here just like that. And I think the diamond plate looks super cool right there. It just kind of finishes it off, makes it just look a little bit more complete.
Cleaner.
Yeah, it looks cleaner. It just looks better than just having nothing there. So it kind of matches these a little bit, but yeah.
It's looking pretty.
It's getting really close. I got these lights wired up. I'll show you that too. I'm pretty proud of this. It's wired up to the factory switch.
Oh, look at you go.
And then it's still got the light bar.
Which is very bright.
But I'm hoping with those that I'll be able to actually drive it down the road with these. because I tilted them down quite a bit and they're not as bright. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to drive down the road without people flashing their brights at me, because this is way too bright. So those are kind of for more road use. And then like I said, I'm going to build that bar. I'm going to do that tomorrow. Alright guys, so I'm back into the garage here today, and I'm going to first start by building the bar that kind of matches this one that goes underneath the lights here. And then I'm going to put coolant into it, bleed the system, and then maybe take it for a quick little drive. Alright, so I got the piece of metal just set up in the bender here. I'm going to bend one side and see how it fits up in here, and see how much of the bend I want to keep. If it's just a little bit of it or more of it to get it down lower. And then I'll measure and bend the other side accordingly, and then I'll trim the ends off and put her in. So I'm going to get this bent, and then I'm going to get it up into place and trim it to where it needs to be. Alright, so I just got it tacked into place right there, and I think I like how it looks, so I'm going to just fully weld it in. I think that just completes the front. I mean, it does look a little goofy, but I think it looks pretty cool, so I'm happy with it. Alright, I got it all welded in. Pretty sweet. So now I'm gonna get some coolant into it for the first time and see, make sure where I put that temperature switch in doesn't leak, and make sure it gets up to temperature and kicks the fans on. So I'm gonna go find my little coolant funnel and get some coolant into here. I got a leak. Finger in it. Okay, I think we figured out what the leak was. Well, Braden did. Down here on the thermostat housing, there's a bump right there to stop the hose from going too far. I pushed the hose on too far and clamped it right onto that nub, so it was just causing it to leak right there. So I pulled it up and retightened it down, so shouldn't leak anymore. And yeah, let's keep filling it up. That goes a lot. Alright, so what are we doing out here, Braden?
Well, just locked the hubs. We're going down Quinco in the snow, so
Good. First drive with Rusty.
yep.
And the Blazer.
Out on this trail, I broke the front drive shaft.
Yeah. This trail doesn't have a good track record with this truck, but so we're just getting off the road. We're gonna lock the hubs in and just see what kind of stuff we can get into.
broke through and in a deep spot, didn't see because the snow was covering it, and axled out, and now I'm just spinning all four. So Owen's gonna come pull me out hopefully. He didn't bring his rope, so he's gonna have to use the winch. Uh-oh. Don't get stuck. Oh, if we both get stuck, we're done. In some ways it's easier with the snow, and then in other ways it's harder.
Yeah.
Like it's way easy, and then you break through, and then it's just like it's way harder because then you don't have any traction to get out. Holy. I see his motor clunking around in there like crazy. Oh. Somewhere around the shot.
I need to rewind this thing.
Yeah, it's all angled up and crap.
Look at that. Freedom winch line. Freaking love these things. It is the nicest winch cable I've ever used.
Yeah. It's pretty nifty.
I mean, and you can see, I've used it.
Yeah, it's a little hammered.
Well, I drove myself into a ditch and I got stuck, but we got pulled out. Braden parked his truck out there and we hitched out, but now we don't have a way down. So Braden's gonna try to guide me down this safely. So.
Got people driving by like, what in the world? Whoa! That's sketch. That's the most vertical this thing's been in its life, probably.
Yeah.
That's why we need new motor mounts right there. your control arm in the front. Try right there, then your back tire will go over this rock. There's a rock wedge underneath your skid plate.
Oh, really?
And yeah, I was like lifting the and then finally let go.
If I bump it, it'll go?
Maybe. Yeah. See, you just gotta hit this in some speed because it's just so like slippery. But you hit that rock right there with some feel in your back.
Testing her out.
Yeah, seems pretty solid.
Nothing's falling apart yet.
Hell yeah.
I had the one up, yeah, so at the last second, I just decided to veer left. No, I bet you could make it up that if you really wanted to. But.
Yeah. Gave her the beat.
Alright, so that's going to be it for this video. I did go on a drive in it, but I didn't video it. We drove it to the next town over, so we went on the main road and got it up to 70 miles an hour, and she drives great. I bled the coolant and everything. I think it's going to be way better. It was even hard to get it up to operating temperature, so I don't think we're going to have a problem with overheating anymore. So that's the hope. Yeah, and then I finished out this the light cradle, I guess you'd call it. I think it looks way better with that second bar in there. And yeah, it turned out pretty good. In the next video, or the next couple videos, I'm really going to be trying to get more videos of wheeling instead of work, but I do need to do the motor mounts. So, but after I get the motor mounts, I mean, it's basically done at this point, so we can finally go have some fun in it and hopefully not break it again. So yeah guys, thank you for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, it helps out a ton. And as of making this video, I just hit 3,000 subscribers, so that's super cool. So keep commenting. Yeah, I read all of them and it helps out a lot. And yeah, so stay tuned for the next one.